What's going on, buff cats, cool cats? Today we're not playing Pokemon. We are going over our Net Play Superstars 15 predictions for pools so far. There's been one, two. This pool's almost done. Like that's crazy. And then so like 4 games and almost a pool is done. Pools came out yesterday, so I tried to get this out earlier, but I did not. So we're gonna start off with Pool A here. Uh, we're just gonna go ahead and lock this in as if I can type. We're just going to go ahead and lock Remke in at 1. The only way he's not 1 in this pool is if like a meteor hits his house and he has to forfeit, or like the puppy chews all of his cords and his computer won't turn on. It's the only way he's not number 1 in this pool. Number 1 undisputed number 1 player. Just the best player in the game right now. He's won 2 or 3 before, so there's no reason to even question his ability. Here's where the pool gets interesting. I think these 3 players are very, very, very even throughout, being Dila, Walrus, and Redbone's fan. Redbone's fan is probably my favorite out of the 3. I'm not just saying that because he's my brother, but I feel like he beat Walrus twice in Spring Series, if I remember correctly. And I feel like Dila's on the cusp of something great. They truly are. And I think Walrus not ever playing the game is going to come back and hurt him a little bit. I just feel like it's the move over Boomer movement. I'm going to go ahead and take B-Mills at 2. I'll lock it in there. Now, Walrus versus Dila. Again, Dila's on the cusp of something. But Walrus is tried and true, consistently makes the bracket, and this is probably the hardest pick of the bracket for me. There's a lot of games that depends on what player shows up. I think there's one of those games in the next the next group, for being completely honest. But I think Dila is going to take the 3 seed out of this pool, possibly even the 2 seed. I definitely think these 3 are going to make the bracket. I could probably flip Dila and B-Mills. That's what I got. And then give me Walrus at 4, and then Jackie Buckets. No offense to anyone who gets the 5 seed or anything, but if you're watching this and you do get the 5 seed, you're just probably a new player and haven't been in the scene long enough to probably be able to compete against these top 3 players in the pools. That's no offense to you. Just keep grinding, stick with the game, and you could easily, for NPSS 16, be a top. You could probably get to the top 3. Moving on to Pool B, already been played, but Seth, again, number 2 or 3 player in Mario Baseball. I feel like they play consistently the most out of the top players, and there's not really any dispute in this. Like, I can sit here and come up with as many reasons as I want, but Seth is a really, really good player, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to take home NPSS. Then we got probably between T-Bling and Among Us Blaster for the 2nd spot. I mean, he's lost to Seth. Blaster's lost to Seth. I believe he was the 2 seed in his pool. But there's some big games. I think this is, again, another competitive pool of 3 people. It depends what Dixon shows up. If he's playing really well, there's no doubt in my mind he could make it out of his pool. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind. But if he has one off day or one off game, it kind of gets a little scary for him. I really don't know what to do with him and T-Bling. Dixon plays more consistently than T-Bling. I also don't know what's in plans for Dinger City, but I know he's not in factions. I haven't seen T-Bling in the bot. So I think I have to give Among Us Blaster the edge over T-Bling and put him at 2. That's pretty simple, pretty easy. we can check the score of Seth and Among Us Blaster game. Yeah, Seth is just going to it just kind of killed him. But I feel like I really don't know what I want to do with this one. I feel like this is probably the one of the hardest pools. I think the next one is probably the hardest pool in my opinion. Um, I think that the next that Group C is just a slugfest of good players or players that are just playing out of their minds currently. I think I'm gonna have to take T-Bling. He he pitches to the meta very well, and he's a very he's very good on offense. He sticks to the meta pitching and does it very well. Give me Dixon at 4, but I could easily see Dixon at 3. I could these three are the roughest picks I think I have to make. It's just don't know where T-Bling's at right now. I haven't seen him play a lot. The last thing I've seen him play is Big Balla on Dinger City. And spoilers, he was in the finals for that. So, or if I am correct, I think I am. But he's a great player. I think he locks up the 3 seed. Again, I think these three could go either way. I'm pretty confident in saying Walrus is probably 4 in his pool. I think Deal and B Mills have just been playing some good ball. On to Group C, give me Toasty at 1. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy pick. He's easily a top 5 player in this tournament. I think he could take home an NPSS. I really think he can. There's a world where I see him taking it home. I have a lot of faith in Toasty. He always plays Remke decently close, and it's just all you need is a couple good games. All you have to do is string together 2 good games, or string together 1 good game if you can stay in winners the whole time. I mean, next up, I want to take Benny at 2. No slight to Matt Gray. I just feel like he's always in a situation where he's sneaking into bracket and then making a massive run. I think that's Matt Gree's like trademark. Like last NPSS, he kind of snuck in, and he was in a tiebreaker, I think, to get in. It was obvious. It was in his favor to make it, but he got in. He got in off the tiebreaker and was able to get in and go pretty far in bracket. And I feel like this is the Matt Gree signature of just making it in and going from there. Barney at 4. He started off really hot in this season. If he can do that throughout this tournament, good for him. I feel like he could make it. I feel like his pool was probably the worst draw he could have gotten. I feel like he could have gotten a better draw, but he's got to deal with it. He's got to find a way to deal with it. He could win. I don't know if Benny's internet is working. He's somewhere, not at his home. So if Benny has to drop for some reason due to internet concerns or something, then I would love to see Barney at the 3 seed. I would love to see Barney and see what he can do in bracket. We got Bardo at 5. Again, a newer player. I'm going safe with the new players. I'm not going to predict any big upset wins or anything. So I'll tell you that now. Now on to my bracket. Give me Clutch at the 1. I feel like his whole style gameplay matches up so well against these. Clutch is known for his pitching. His offense has been absolutely electric so far this season in ranked, and I think that Clutch could easily be the 1 seed in this pool. Like, this game is Clutch is probably going to be one of the games of the tournament. It's going to happen in pools. It's going to be a great game, and I honestly think I'm gonna give the edge to Clutch right now. That's I I'm confident in Clutch being able to take the 1 seed. I really am. Like I said, he's normally hovering around. I think he said somewhere that he's in top 10 in offensive numbers right now, and he's just a phenomenal pitcher, and everyone knows that. Next up, give me C's at 2. He's always in conversation to kind of be a dark horse for NPSS. I think him, Toasty, and normally Flatbread, but Flatbread's not in this one, are normally the dark horses to win an NPSS, are the three favorites. Uh, to normally be a dark horse and under just someone that's not Remke, Seth, or Hells. Hells isn't in this either. Just he's one of those three to be picked to win. So a long way of explaining that. But I think C's is also a phenomenal player. Sometimes he gets in his own head. He does. There's a point where he was so in his head that he couldn't pitch, and he was doing fine, and still was winning ball games, and that's what kind of scares me with C's a little bit. But as long as he's on top of it and not in his own head, um, he can easily be the 1 seed. Give me myself at 3. I feel very confident in my game right now, and I feel like this is my NPSS to make bracket. Simple, done, easy. Colks and Kobe is going to be a good series. Uh, Hopefully, Cokes is able to play all of his games. Don't know who to pick here. Cokes obviously plays a lot with Dinger City. Kobe, not so familiar in net play. Hasn't been most active in a while. Two of my absolute favorite people I met at Slice. Great people. I don't know where to put these two. I feel like they're very even. I know Cokes always underseeds himself in this thing because he's the TO, and he always puts himself way lower than he should be. But Colby, I didn't get a chance to play Colby at Slice on Stars Off, which this tournament is. I've played Cokes before. Cokes can just hit a switch and be electric, and I'm taking Cokes at 4. I I think personally I'm more scared in my game against Cokes because I've seen it firsthand him turn that switch and put up like 20 hits in a game. I've seen it against myself personally and against Clutch. He kept it close in the NPSSs that we've always been in the same pool. That's Cokes' favorite thing to do is put me, himself, and Clutch into the same pool. And I feel bad putting Colby at 5. But I feel like I feel like Cokes can just turn it on. And I'm unfamiliar with Colby's game. You know, I can do the MJ. I'm sorry I was unfamiliar with his game, or whoever said that. I will happily eat my words if Colby makes bracket. I would be happy if Cokes or Colby beat me for bracket. I'll be happy for either of them. Great people. Moving on to Pool E. This is the most done pool. So Poke lost to Wheels. I think Wheels is almost certainly locked for number 1. Has he beaten Balam? Or has he played Balam? Or Hunter? Those are the 2 games I want to know about. Okay, so Wheels still has Hunter and Balam to play. Poke has to play Hunter. If Poke wins, I feel like Wheels could easily drop both. But I see he's in such a good spot right now. Dude, I do not like this already almost being done because I'd actually think about it and make a good prediction. Give me Poke. Actually, give me Poke at 2. Give me Poke at 2. Hunter, yeah, I think you're benefiting a little bit from not have played any games yet, but man, this is rough. I could have told you it'd be Poke, Hunter, Balam if I saw this pool right away, and just there was no games played. But Wheels beating Poke is huge. That's huge momentum, and I feel like I have to. I don't know. This is a rough one. I think we go bang. That's not do. Give me Hunter. That's what I'm gonna go with. Because Wheels is gonna have tiebreaker over. No, Wheels doesn't. Wheels has tiebreaker over Poke. I don't know how close that game was. I feel like Wheels is just in such good position, but he still has to play two harder opponents to get in. Balam has his hardest opponent out of the way, in Poke. Hunter could easily beat all four of the people in his pool. Don't really don't know. Think Wheels. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt against Hunter, and beating Poke is such a huge feat. Hmm. Think think I'm gonna leave it as is. This is so much harder because of all of the games being played. I think this is how I'm gonna do it. I think that's how it is. Yep. And then obviously the new player's just gonna end up in last. Again, it's nothing against these people. It's just a hard game to pick up and be good at. Very few can do it. But again, no disrespect. This is the fun one. They've played a lot, and I think they're 50-50. Give me Mori underscore here. I'm actually gonna pull up a bot. I I remember they're close. Uh, nice boy, head to head. Mori. Bro. Oh, I gotta find his Ryoki real quick. Um, please be good with. Come on. If I can't find it, I'm just going to Ostat Bowser Jr. and find him easily. Okay, here's the. Okay, it is Boomerang Bro. That loads. Actually, Boomerang Bro's been taking most of these games. I'm not counting. I gotta look at just stars off. They've only played one stars off game in season 6. What it looks like, and Boomerang Bro took it on DK Jungle with the walk off Bowser Jr. home run. I remember watching that game. They're kind of even. Mm, I'm I'm confident Mori can step up and play in tournaments. So can Boomer. I feel like I don't want to keep the one seeds at one. I think that's another hard call. Just I think if I have faith in Mori to be able to win in big situations. He always plays super clutch. Um Boomerang Bro, I see him more as a stars on player, and that's kind of skewing my result, like the skewing the results in my head. I think Maury's gonna be able to pick this up. Let me Grump at 3. I think he can take care of Ducky, take care of business, and be able to be the 3 in that pool. Give me Chili. I played him a couple times this season. He's a pretty damn good new player, and if I do say so. I know Ducky just really does not like this game. anymore. And I feel like if Chili catches him after kind of getting beat up by Mori or Boomerang, bro, he can take that game off of him. I also need to have a spicy pick, and what better spicy pick than a guy named Chili? So obviously, everyone loves a good spicy chili. We Ducky at 5. I don't know if he's going to be able to avoid tilt throughout this and be able to keep a cool head throughout the tournament. I know he doesn't play this game. He doesn't really like this game as much as he used to. I think he's kind of just gotten burnt out on it a little bit. Only signs up for tournaments. Give me Chili. No offense to Ducky, but I think Chili's a phenomenal player. I'm happy if Ducky gets the 4. I'm happy if Ducky makes bracket. I think there's a world where Ducky makes bracket as well. But I feel like it's more likely Ducky gets 4. And if I'm gonna call him at 4 and not have him in bracket, I'm gonna call him at 5 and give Chili the benefit of the doubt. I feel like he's a damn good player. There's a damn good chance to get 4. Hey, let me just click on TK and box him. Russian got absolutely screwed on the draw here. And in my opinion, that's him as a 5 seed is just crazy. He's not a 5 seed compared to these other guys. The other 5 seeds have maybe played 10 games, like 10, 20 games max. Russian put in probably 50 last season, and he joined with like a month left in the season. He's put up a lot this season. He's been playing so well. I just think the top 3 in his group are too good, honestly. I haven't seen Nude Cactus play, but I've seen some of the results from the recent games he's been playing. He's winning. I wasn't around for Cactus. I've wanted to see Cactus play. I haven't seen him play in my time in the Mario Baseball community. This is going to be hard for me to call. But I can't be the number 1 Sam N fan. I can't do it if I don't call Sam at 1. I feel like this is another game of the tournament pools. I think this game is going to be very, very good. And I think I'm going to give the edge to Sam. He just plays more. He's a grinder. Cactus doesn't play a lot. Only shows up for, I don't even know if he plays lands anymore. I know he speedruns. That's about it. All I know about Cactus, I know he was a dominant force. He was a force to be reckoned with in the past. But I am one of the biggest TK believers in the server, I would say. Him and Nuche suffer from the same thing. They're viewed as a Starzon dark horse, or a Starzon upset pick. And they kind of just get known for that in Starzon and don't really get the respect they deserve in Stars Off. Nuche and TK are pretty much the same player in that regard. I think they are so good and yet so underrated. And I'm gonna put my faith in TK. I'm taking him at 2. That might be a hot take, but that's where I'm putting him. And that leaves Cactus at 3. I feel like that's an easy placement for him. I'm going off the pass, and I don't see Russian being able to pick up a win against Cactus. That's the big thing. I mean, he's beat Sam before, but Sam is kind of known for losing to players he shouldn't sometimes. Or that's at least the joke in the NP6 community, that Sam just kind of loses to players he shouldn't. So, I mean, I could see Russian sneaking in. I just think it's highly unlikely. He's just got such a bad draw. And then give me Sleepy at 5. Again, I should probably put an H in Russian, shouldn't I? That's Russian. I think Sleepy in Russian is going to be a good game. I'm going to give the edge to Russian. Just plays a lot more than Sleepy and gets good results. And graduated from Pianta League, was a new net player pretty recently. Graduated from Pianta League, and I feel like give him some respect for him at 4. I can't put him in bracket just because the top three in that pool are so scary. Some demons, some grinders, and a past hero of the game. This one here, Group H, kind of hard to also predict. This is a huge win for the Joe over Big Nick. That's huge. It's also a rough spot for Big Nick to start in, going 1-1. And Corman 0-1. I feel like the Joe did a lot of heavy lifting for Bolt to earn the 1 seed. The Joe did Bolt's job here and made it pretty easy for him to get the 1 seed. All he's gonna do is win 4 times. He's got to put in work against Big Nick and beat the Joe and beat Corman. I think Bolt is very capable of doing that. He is another player who can just flip a switch and automatically just like put 20 runs on your head. He's that crazy. Like, Bolt is a phenomenal player, and I feel like he's also another one who's very underrated within the community. I have high respect for Bolt. I think he can get the 1 seed here. I don't know if he was 1 or 2 in his pool. Probably 2, I would say. I don't know, but the Joe really helped him out by being able to pick up a win against Big Nick. That's future Bolt, and if Bolt gets 1, he should like buy Joe some ice cream or something. That's a huge result for Bolt. I think Big Nick bounces back and goes 3-1 and takes the 2 seed. I think this is a rough pick here for the Joe and Corn. Corn losing to the Big Nick 4-3. But the Joe beating Big Nick 12-10. It depends on what Corn Man shows up. There's a Corn Man who's a demon, and there's a Corn Man who's kind of just will play to your abilities and kind of lets you hang in games where you don't feel like you're super confident and you're playing well, but Cornman just kind of lets you stick around sometimes. But if Cornman can just be a demon for the rest of this pool, easy dub for Cornman. Like, if he can be a demon, he beats Bolt. Like, I feel like Bolt and Cornman are like pretty similar in that regard, is that they can just flip a switch sometimes, but if they don't have it, they don't have it. No offense to them, but I just feel like that's them. Like, I don't know. Cornman to Joe is kind of hard to pick. Joe didn't have a great season 5 to say. Great season 4, great season 5, great season 4. That was a rough season for Joe. He's kind of come out of the dark ages, if you will, and kind of put on a clinic, won the mid-tier mania. You don't know where to put Joe. I don't know where to put Cornman. I'm trying to put my biases aside for Joe. Absolutely love that guy. Phenomenal person. I have to put those biases aside and kind of make a prediction here. I feel like Joe is going to be able to catapult that win from Big Nick. Take home the 3. I just love Joe. That's it. Give me Cornman at 4. Give me Franco at 5. Man, that is another rough draw for Corn. That's a rough draw for Corn. Honestly, Joe is a phenomenal player, and that's rough. I think Cornman's a little underseeded, for being completely honest with ourselves. I think he deserved to be in this pool with Grump, probably, or this pool with Poke. I think that's where he deserves to be. He could probably take my spot, honestly. He could take Barney's spot too. That's a rough draw for Cornman. It's starting off. I don't know if I like that Big Nick win. I don't like that Joe's Big Nick win over for him. That's super scary. Big Nick is a great player, and Joe being able to beat him is something else. And I don't know if I like that for Corn. That's the momentum Joe needs to be able to make it to bracket. That's huge momentum for him. But that is going to be my predictions for NPSS 15. The pools, If you want my tournament winner, I'm going with Seth. Give me Seth to win it. I don't know. That's who I'm feeling. That's been my gut feeling. You want a dark horse? Here he is. He's the 3 seed here, but normally he's not considered the 3 seed. But that's my dark horse. It's Seth or Toasty. I think that's who it is. Give me Seth to win it all. But that is gonna be it for me. I will catch you guys back for bracket. I'll record my spreadsheet picks, which are notoriously bad. My predictions are notoriously bad. So there those are. I hope I don't jinx anybody. Again, no disrespect if that's where I put you, especially Ducky and Corn. I love you guys in a non-weird way. And also Sleepy. That's just a rough draw for her. Like this is just this can be hard. This like the Joe Cordman is a hard matchup to predict. Russian Sleepy, I think those two got such a bad draw here. And then Ducky, Julia, uh, I I love Chili's game. I feel like they can be able to put a win up and make the 4. But that's gonna be it for me. I will catch you guys when bracket is released.